Thank you for joining us as we go around the barn. We're going to discuss all the pigs that are in the sale, pin by pin. If you have any questions, feel free to call us, email us, text us. We love discussing them. The sale is going to be on Monday, October 19th over on showpig.com. We have lots of different delivery options just from here, from us at Gold Rush. Dad will be going down to Duncan. He's going to be leaving next Wednesday. So if you buy a pig from the sale on Monday night, if you could call or text us after the sale or first thing Tuesday morning so we can get all the health papers and everything squared away with that, that'd be awesome. And we can get them down to Duncan and the routes along the way that will be posted. Also on the 30th, 31st, we're going to be making a trip down kind of to the southeast to Perry, Georgia. We can get those on that route. And also there's other guys crisscrossing the country, and we can get those pigs on any routes that are out there that come through Indiana. And so we look forward to it. And again, any questions, give us a call. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us as we go around the barn. We're starting off in pin 1 with actually 4 crossbred gilts. And Dad has caught here, this is 30-7. She is a matchmaker outlaw, born the first part of August. And look at this gilt. She is super fancy, yet has tons of mass and power. As you study her, she's really clean fronted, really square and wide up over that top, has a big old stout hip plate in her, really good center rib dimension, one that I like an awful lot, and she's marked really cool as well, one that'll definitely stand out in that show ring.
Amy, this one here has got a big back and a square hip.
Yep.
Tremendous amount of bone and look, and as you said, that collar's pretty special.
Yep.
I'll pull the calico gilt if I can. Well, I think here. I'll pull the blue butt gilt, Amy.
Yep.
Let's go 39 gilt.
This is 39-8. She is an exchange rate back on Battlefield, also born the first part of August. And this gilt, she is fancy. Like, she's one of those gilts out of the pen today. She's maybe on the greener side, but she has all those right parts and pieces. You get up on top of her, she has that big old groove down her top. She's really wide chested as well. Good old center body in her. Has that show ring look and fancy design, kind of cocky attitude from her. Can get out and move extremely, extremely well. She's the one I like an awful lot that you can take home, put on a feeder, and just watch her go.
This would make a tremendous jackpot gilt too.
Yep.
For those of you who like to get out on the weekends ahead of time. And I think this one's look and design. I think length of neck and chisel top, yet still green. This one's upside potential is huge.
Yep.
Okay, and we'll jump over here to the 32 dash, what is that, 5 gilt?
32-5. She's an exchange rate world class, and this girl screams power. Her mom is a purebred Hampshire gilt that we bred to exchange rate, so the potential here with these guys is just unreal. If you get on top of her, I don't know if you can see on the camera, has a huge top. She's super wide out of that blade down her loin, big old top, very true in that shape. You get behind her, a huge stout hip plate in her, big old center body. She's definitely that massive powerhouse type of a hog.
Okay, I'm trying to get Miss Calico here.
She's the most timid kind of. This little calico gilt, I think, super special. Not only do I love her collar pattern, I love a good calico gilt. She's up-headed, she's clean-fronted, she's square in her makeup, she has good muscle shape, good hip shape, really good in terms of her depth of body. Her pedigree is matchmaker Horton. Her mom was a litter mate to Gettysburg, or to not Gettysburg, to Gambler,
wow,
who was on stud here at Gold Rush, and you could see that kind of coming through there. She's one I like a whole lot. Still a little greener in that makeup, but man, does she has all those parts and pieces and squareness of the ground. One I think could go really far this winter.
Her ear notch was 36-7.
Yep, 36-7. We're now over in pin 2, and we're checking out 12-7, a Duroc gilt. This girl, she's a Fate Has It Red Bone, born August the 5th. This girl, I really, really like. There's no doubt she is super green in her makeup today. She's big old square top, big old stout hip blade in her, yet she's still green as you study her. She's really good in terms of that center rib dimension. She gets out and move if she wants to go out and pull. She's being a little timid here today and not wanting to get out and move. But one that I really like from just that natural shape and dimension she offers. She's really good in terms of how clean she is up through that front end as well. Her mom is a littermate to Night Hunt, who we have on stud here. Hey everybody, we're now in pen 3 checking out a trio of Hampshire gilts. We're excited about these guys, and right now Dad has caught 2 littermate sisters that are 41 litters, and let's see if you can pull one of these out.
Here we go, it's the 5 gilt, Amy.
41-5. These 41s are the answer back on prime cut. And this girl, as you study her, she is really good in her design and her angles. She's really clean up through that front end, level made down that top, correct in that hip shape, really good in terms of that center rib dimension. She's a notch on the greener side as we're going to see her sister here, but man, does she have all those right parts and pieces and very true in her muscle shape.
Here comes her sister.
So here's her sister, and this would be 41-8. Now this is the gilt I think today is the big time gilt. She's big topped and big hipped and big center, and you look at her coming at you, she's really wide chested. She's just wide made from end to end and wide and square from the ground on up to that upper skeleton. Very true in terms of that muscle shape as well. Really good center rib shape as well. These guys you can read about their litter on the website, but come right out of the foundation of their herd, going back to some of our 76 and 46 sow lines here at Gold Rush that just do a great job for us. But these are 2 sisters. Dad has right here is the 41-8, and then the kind of the wider belt one right there is 41-5.
Amy, I want to talk about the pedigree here. Really a unique pedigree that's action-packed. That as you study prime cut, and a lot of people don't know a lot about him, but we retained that boar and raised him. He is one of the biggest center body, naturally wide hogs with more bone than most Hampshires have. And then the answer is that really good looking, tall shoulder, deep body, super feet and legs. I think this is a great pair of littermate females.
Watch these guys. And then we also have 35-7. She's a one-of-a-kind outlaw. Her mom is 3-7. Kind of a little something fun about the 35 litter. Goes back to a sow we had 16-9. We had a pair of those 16 litter sows that just did a great job. So that would be her, I believe her grandmother or great-grandmother. 16-9 raised the champion Hamp gilt at the Indiana State Fair back in 2014. So kind of the starting of the work of our foundation and getting our Hampshire herd where it is, but she goes back to her on that bottom side of the pedigree, and then is one of a kind outlaw up on that top side. And this girl she's not wanting to pull, but she is extremely true in her muscle shape. You get on top of her, she has a big old groove down that top, very big, true in that hip shape. She's one, if you're looking for a market gilt or a breeding gilt, depending upon how you're going to feed her, she can just get out and go. Really square, big boned as well. One that I like an awful lot.
Amy, I don't know if the video will show how much bone this one's really got, and she definitely doesn't want to pull here today. As you stated, one that is true in her muscle shape. It is really hard to make Hampshire hogs to look like this. That one's got a big old tail root here, indicator that one's going to spread and widen, especially you Hampshire enthusiasts that are thinking of retaining females. This one here comes out of the heart of the herd, and her mama is one elite female. Great trio here of Hampshire gilts out of the Schaefer Gold Rush herd.
Hey everybody, we're now in pen 4 and we're checking out 3 barrows now. 2 of these are littermate brothers, the Herefords. Their pedigree is trucking on Family Guy, born August the 10th. And these guys are extremely unique in their makeup. They are wide made at the grounds, yet really clean and cool fronted with that show ring look that we're needing to get up in those top spots today. As you watch this guy goes, he has a big old forearm in him, really level made down that top, good muscle shape, big old stout hip laid in him as well. One that you take home and he just needs some TLC to just get up and grow and go. I think he's one that come, you know, we get into January, February, that can be a lot of fun to be out there with.
Amy, I love his length of body and his length of neck and the squareness he comes out of his blade. And that guy's hip and hind leg is exceptional. Great collar pattern on that one there as well. So let's go here to his brother, if I can get him to pull.
This one right here is that 19-3.
3.
So we get it. 19-3, a brother to that first one we were looking at. This guy is also, if you study him, really clean up through that front end. Really good in terms of that natural width at the ground, and he works it up to that upper side of his skeleton. Really good in terms of muscle shape as well. He's on the greener side today, no doubt, but those are the ones that you can really take home and push those feed buckets to and let him go. You know, just keep watching him and just kind of slow grow those guys right up onto that show. One I really like from a design standpoint too.
He may be a notch taller shoulder than his brother too, Amy,
Yep.
okay? But it's both extremely stylish. I'll see if I can pull a Hampshire Barrow here. There we go.
Hampshire time. This Hampshire Barrow is 37-5. He is out of the answer, back on a world-class sow. This guy, I love how he's designed and put together. His front 2/3, I think, is just awesome. Big old square chest floor, if he'll pull for us. Really square topped, really true in terms of that shape over that loin, very square down that top line as well. You get behind him, he's still square hipped, big bones. He can get out and move extremely well too when he's not kind of being silly.
Be a little stubborn here.
Yeah,
eh?
he's not wanting to go, which surprises me. Normally you get in here and he just like
He's chasing.
attacks you and chases you in here. But one that I really like, if you're looking for a good breed bear to hit some of these shows that are out there, I think he's one that'll be a lot of fun to have on feed.
Amy, I want to say, and he's not showing very well, I'm going to try to bring him towards you. You can just see world class right in his skull and his neck and the way his chine bones laid into his blade. And I think that one there reads big time.
I like this guy a lot. I think he's one that'll be a whole lot of fun to feed.
Super feet and legs on that.
Hey everybody, we're now in pin 5 and we jumped up to some July age pigs. Here's a Duroc gilt that I really like. This girl right here, these are Fate Has It red bones. She's one that, as you study her, she has a big old top in her, very square over that loin, as you can see right there in that shot. Really stout in that hip shape. She's big bone, square made at the ground. I think she's one, if you're looking to go to like Perry this winter or, you know, hit some of these January shows, she's going to be right on target for that. Just really good design from end to end. One that I like an awful lot.
Amy, I'm going to tell you something. She's going to be on target wherever you go.
Wherever you go, she is.
You want to jackpot her. You want to show her in the Texas majors. You want to show her at OYE. You want to show her in Perry, Georgia. It's going to take a brute to get around that one right there.
We like her an awful lot.
Okay.
We'll see if her brother will pull. This is a littermate to her and get out of Fate Has It. And this guy, we put him in here because we think he's so rugged in his makeup. He's just so stout skulled and big boned and wide made from behind. He's deep centered, really square made, level in that top shape, deep sided. You know, he's one that I think could be a lot of fun. If you're looking at, I know a lot of these winter jackpot shows are going on around the country this year. He's going to be right on target for those.
Amy, it's rare to find a Duroc Barrow with that much bone and that much rib, and yet he's still attractive in his makeup.
Yep.
His ear set, I love it, the way it's set off to the side. It shows a little more extension of his neck and his skull. And that one's hip and hind leg is just really unique.
Yep.
Okay, we'll go to crossbred time here.
This crossbred gilt is 22-9. She's an electrified justice. This is a gilt that I absolutely love. From the side profile, she has some extension. You get on top of her, she's squared. She's good in that muscle shape. She's good in her hip shape. She's wide made at the ground. One mutts in terms of center body. She's marked really cool as well. As you get her on the other side, she kind of has that circle in her belt as you can see, just to help her stand out. I think this is one that has the potential to go out and be big time this winter when you show her. She can get out and move. She's sound structured. She's good designed. You know, she kind of already has a little bit of that show ring attitude you need in these, just to have that ring presence to get up to the top of your class.
Easy feeder too, Amy.
She reads as an easy feeder, yes. It's Tam time. We're now checking out 4 Tamworth Barrows that we're selling. These guys are all born in August. Dad has caught right here. Did you say this is
18-3.
-3? These 18s are Fury's one shot. Their mom is the 20-5 sow we bought off of Peyton Hill with the Zohan Zoolander purchase last year. And she was, I believe, the third overall.
Third overall gilt at Phoenix.
At Phoenix.
Third overall Tamworth.
Tamworth gilt, yep. 18-3. This guy is really good in his makeup. These guys are up-headed, tall at the point of his shoulders. You get on top of them. Very true in terms of that muscle shape. Good center rib dimension as well. Big old stout hip laid in him. Just a really good design piece. Can get out and move. He's functional. He's powerfully built. One that I think will be a whole lot of fun walking into the Tamworth ring at these shows this winter.
So Amy, I'll make a statement here. We sell the barrow that wins the Tamworth show at the Summer Type Conference.
Yep.
This guy's got more of everything than that guy did at this stage, so kind of keep that in mind. Here comes the 20-liter barrel.
Yep, this is 20-5. He's a Zohan record breaker. This is kind of a different one. He's what I consider maybe like a little more of that power and a little more moderate framed. Big top. You get on top of him. He has a huge top, huge square hip laid into him that's very shapely from that stifle to stifle. Square made at the ground. Really good center body. Little story on him. His mom's a littermate to Copycat, who's on stud here for a while at Gold Rush. Just a really good kind of that heavier muscled type of a Tamworth that I think is going to be a lot of fun to get out and get on the feed bucket and go in this winter.
Wouldn't that be fun one to put out there and feed on?
It would be. Right here is 18-4 that Dad's caught in front of us.
We just done him.
We did 18-3.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there's 2 of these 18
That's
litter
right.
barrows. They're litter mates. 18-4 again is a Fury one shot. His mom's the 20-5 Sal from Peyton. And this guy, I love this guy. He's big topped, he's stout hipped, he's deep sided, really extended up through that front end. Big
Running
bones.
gears on this cat.
Oh, this guy I think is one that reads as a fun feeder, one that's powerfully constructed. I think he has the potential to go on and be a big time. That'll bring him around so we can see him right there. I really like this guy. I think just how he's designed and put together to get out and just go. He already has that show ring look and mass to him.
Okay, I'll jump to this 13-liter barrel.
Yep.
He's been wanting to be showed the whole time.
13-1. He is a Zohan record breaker. These 13 letters, mom is Sweet Potato. Sweet Potato is a gilt that Mitchell Concannon showed back in his showing days still. She was 3rd overall at the Team Purebred Junior Show. Oh gosh, and I can't remember what year. It'd been probably about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Probably 16 or 17.
And one that has just, Sweet Potato does a great job for us. This guy I think is super functional. He's sound made, good in that muscle shape, really good in terms of that center rib dimension as well. Gets out and moves and can get out and walk very well. One I like a whole lot.
This is the green, good-looking, super athletic one, Aim.
I like him.
If you like playing at the high end of the Tamworth deal, these guys here all represent that.
They do.
Okay.
Good pan of Tamworth Barrows. Crossbred gilt time. We're checking out 4. These are July crossbred gilts out here, and Dad right now has 24-7. We have a pair of these gilts in this pin. These guys are exchange rates. Here I am. Their mom is a purebred Hampshire sow, and we bred these guys cross to get replacement females for us and to make some awesome gilts. And this gilt is one that I really like. As you study her, she is a power-packed female. She's big topped. Look at that big old square hip laid in her. Good in terms of that center body dimension. Level made, square at the ground. Really good center rib dimension. She's one that I like an awful lot. If you're looking to go out and show at a really high end, yet you want to keep that gilt to retain back into your herd, this is one I would definitely look at.
Okay, sweet.
So that's
See if I can
24.
pull her sister.
7. Yep, coming up right here's her sister, 24-8. Again, their exchange rate, here I am. Now this gilt's a little different from her sister, notch greener in her makeup today. But as you study her, she is very square out of that shoulder blade down that top line. You can see that big old groove laid in down that top. Really square in terms of that hip shape. Wide at the ground, stout skulled. She's kind of the greenest one in the pen. The big other ones kind of pick on her just a little bit. You get her home, get her on a feeder by herself, she's just going to go out and explode. I like this gilt an awful lot, and just that basic build and function that she has, I think is exceptionally good.
You know, Amy, when you talk about this gilt here, we know exchange rate's been on a huge winning streak, but
Yep.
the bottom side of that pedigree, we got to remember, here I am. Here I am produced the fourth overall gilt there at the World Pork Expo that Mitchell showed a few years back. Also, here I am is sired by the legendary Outlaw Board. And so there's an action-packed bunch of pedigree. You got Cobb Cross and Schaefer Gold Rush Hamp all in one package. And so just a really, really neat deal. Here's the 21 litter gilt, Amy.
Yep, this is 21-6. She is a heater prime time. Now this girl is one that, look at her, she's tall at the point of her shoulder. She's level made, very square in that makeup at the ground, good inner hip shape, good center body dimension. She reads as a brood sow to me. Like, just look at her. She's fancy, she's broody, she's sound, she has muscle shape. Her mama too is a purebred Hampshire gilt that we bred and crossed up. And I think she's one that's going to be not only fun in the show ring, but one if you're looking for a replacement type female as well, one that's going to work extremely well.
Okay, I'll pull that.
The blue gilt, when Dad catches her, is 27-3. And this girl, I think, is extremely cool in her makeup. She is just one neat designed crossbred gilt. She's a matchmaker battlefield, and she just is massive. She's big top, she's big hip, she's big centered. She sets those feet down square. I love the depth of body and center rib shape that she has. It's just a lot of natural shape and design to her. So from a breeding gilt standpoint, one that can just get out and go and just has a whole lot of mass and volume.
And did you mention bone, Amy?
She has a ton of bone too. Yep, that's 27-3. It's Tam time again. Now we're checking out 4 Tamworth gilts. These guys, if you watch the barrows back here, are all litter mates to those barrows. And Dad has caught, is this 18-11. And getting these guys are Fury back on one shot. Their mom's is the 20-5 litter sow that we bought off of Peyton High, who was 3rd overall Tam at Phoenix several years ago. This girl, I just love her. As you can tell, not only is she spunky and kind of has that attitude you need in the ring to stand out, but she's designed really good. She's square chested, she's big top, she has really good hip shape to her as well. Really good in terms of that center rib dimension as well. One we really like. And again, she's 18-11.
And remember, Fury sired the champion bear we just talked about a while ago there. Okay? Come here, girl.
We've now caught, this is 13-2. 13-2 is a Zohan record breaker. Her mom is Sweet Potato. Sweet Potato is a gilt that Mitchell showed back in 2015. I looked it up from the Bear video. He showed her in 2015 where she was the 3rd overall Tamworth gilt at the Team Purebred Junior National. And if you follow our Tamworth deal, those guys, she just does a great job breeding on for us. This girl, what I like about her is she's still a little green in that makeup, but she's really square skulled, good in that top shape down her loin, really good in terms of that hip shape as well. If we can get her going away, there you go. I think she's one that'll be a fun, easy feeding gilt. You get her home, you put her on a feeder, you let her go. You're not going to recognize her come a month, 2 months from now. Just a really good, solid design Tamworth gilt.
Great replacement female as well.
Yep.
With a really upside potential on the show ring in that one.
Yep. We got over here now. We got a pair of litter mates. Or actually, they're not litter mates. They are the 20 litters.
20 litters. I don't think they're going to pull, Amy, so
No.
I'm just going to drive those two for you.
20-7
Right here.
is the one. She has a crinkled ear. You can kind of tell. 20-7 is, again, they are Zohan record breakers. Their mom was a litter mate to Copycat, who was on stud here at Gold Rush.
Sister right behind her.
Her sister, that's 20-11. Again, they're on the Zohan. Now, these guys to kind of talk about, we'll talk about this 11 litter gilt first. She's kind of went up in the corner now. I really like this gilt, and I'm kind of frustrated. She's kind of being scared. She got spooked and not wanting to pull today. But she's really cool up through that front end. She's really square made down that top line. You get behind her really good in that hip shape as well. Good center body dimension. Her sister over here in the back, you can see her, the -7. Again, she does have a crinkled ear. She's built very square from the ground up. You get on top of her very good in terms of that shape down that loin and out through her hip. She's one I like an awful lot too. Don't let that ear kind of fool you, especially if you're looking for like a replacement type female or setting. She's one that has that pedigree and look and design, but they're just not wanting to be very cooperative today.
Amy, I'd like to talk about the 7, the
Yep.
20-7, the one we had the crinkled ear. Will not hurt her in her show ring. In fact, will give her a little character. If you study the Tamworth deal, bone wins a lot. This is a big-legged, long body, probably as good a center rib as a Tamworth as you can pull together. And then when we look at her sister, who's a notch bigger in her frame, taller shoulder, that one's hip and hind leg is ideal. Now you can see the look into that one. They didn't want to pull today, they got spooked, but those are two sisters that'll play at a high level.
Hey everybody, we're now on pin 9 checking out 3 middle of July gilts, and Dad has caught right here. This is
8-7.
8-7. She's a family tradition back on a Survivor Sal, born July 13th. And this girl is neat. She's really clean and up-headed, tall at the point of her shoulder, really square made down that top, big old stout hip plate in her, can get out and move extremely well. Really good in terms of that center body dimension as well. One that we like an awful lot.
This one's just fresh, Amy.
She's fresh, she's good design, she's cool looking, she has muscle shape. It's really hard to kind of pick a hole in this girl as you study her.
Feet and legs win a lot.
They do, feet and legs win.
Let me see if I can. You mind jumping to the hearse?
Well, I can jump to the Hereford. We'll do a do-rock sandwich here. This is a Hereford gilt, 7-5. She's a War Cry taco truck. And this girl is one that is tall at the point of her shoulders, really good extension from the side, really square made down that top, really good in that hip shape. She wins the award for, she just keeps changing every day. Every time we come out here, she just changes and changes, and I like her more and more every day. She's one that I think these breeding gilt shows this winter, she's going to be filled out. She's going to have that shape going. I think she's going to be a lot of fun. Really good Hereford gilt.
Amy, me and you was just talking prior to firing it up on this pin, how this gilt here just keeps changing.
She does. She just changes.
I mean, we always like to show the immature green ones, when you girls were young. This is definitely one that fits that bill, isn't it?
She does. She definitely fits it, and she's one that we like an awful lot.
Okay, let me see if I can get our little 500 gilt here to pull.
Yep, and next is 5-7. She's a night hunt forefront, and she's born the 11th of July. This girl is another one, is just in terms of how she's designed. She's kind of green and fresh and a little, I'll use the word raw in that makeup. Very good in terms of that top shape you get on top of her. Big old center body laid into her. She's big boned, really square made out through that hip as well. Wide chested, one I like an awful lot. I think she's one that has a lot of potential as we get out going this winter, whether you're going to jackpot early or if you're going to kind of keep her and show her at your in-show in 2021. One that I think has a lot of good potential here.
We're not getting a good pull on her.
No,
Amy,
we're not getting a good pull on her.
A great gilt with an average pull, but I think you can see the skull coming at you, the extra length of body, and I think foot and bone. And I'm going to try to pull her so you can see that hip and hind leg there. Getting a lot of interference from these others, but let me see if I can't get that up there for you. Well, we're not going to give it, but really a great gilt and just a very bad pull here, but this is one I put on my short list.
Hey everybody, we're now on our last pin, pin 10, checking out a pair of purebred gilts. This one right here is 7-6. She's a Warcry taco truck, born the 12th of July, a litter mate to the Hereford gilt we saw just in the last pin. This girl is one I really like and admire from her true muscle shape. She's one that's very square made down that top, very true in terms of that shape down that loin. We can get her to go back. When you check out that hip shape, she is wide and square, and she sets those back too true at the ground going away from you. One that's very good in terms of her design as well. I think she's one that would be a whole lot of fun. You get her home, you get her in her individual pen and start feeding and pushing on her. You come this winter when we're at prime time getting those shows, she's going to be right on target.
Hey, Amy, this is probably one of the most different Herefords that we've put together. This one's extra frame size, yet and we can't get it in this small pin. That one sets her hind legs down way wide going away, really square at her knee coming at you. This is a gilt that's grown on us a bunch here.
She has. I won't lie. When Dad brought her up here, I was like, why'd you bring her up? And we gave her 3 days, and she just took off and has never looked back. And now one that, if we went to any shows that had Herefords at, I might keep her for Cooper to show. So
I'm going to tell you what, that one there you could show with confidence. We'll jump over to the Durock gilt here, Amy, 8-4.
8-4. She is a family tradition survivor, born July 13th. We saw her sister just a few minutes ago back in pin 9. This is one that is really cool designed. She's up-headed, she's square-chested, level-made, good in her muscle shape, really square hips going away from you as well. Just really good design, good complete in that makeup, level-made, big boned, good in her angles out of her shoulder and out her hip and hind leg. I think she's one that, is going to be easy feeding, easy doing, and fun to have on feed.
I just say, wow. You can't see because of the sawdust how big toes and the spread that this one's got. But this is a big, stout skulled. This is going to be a fun Durock gilt for some little boy or girl there that wants to get out and compete at a high level. This one here is going to kind of take care of her own. I'm going to call this one an easy feeder as well, Ann.
Yep, I agree. A really good pair of gilts to round out around the barn.
Thank you for everybody looking around the barn.
Thank you.
Bye, shoot.